Greetings, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation, a former divorce mediator over 20 years ago, but I sure have a lot of experience with trust. And this topic is, here are 3 ideas for what to do when you can't trust your husband. And trust me when I tell you that trust is so overrated. On the same side of the coin, it is so important, but it has to be put into its proper place. You see, we live in this world that is so stupid. I always wonder, why do they call it Earth? Why don't they call the world treachery? Because everywhere you go in this world, that's what you find. You go to the shop and people who are working at the store will charge you more, even though they don't even benefit from it. It's a tough world we live in. And those people who work at the store, they're the same people as you and me. We all are living in this hostile environment. It's very competitive. And people have created for themselves ways of living without getting shredded. Isn't it true? And one of the ways, unfortunately, is by not always being honest, by hiding our true feelings, our true actions. This is more natural and more normal than people who are always trustworthy. Isn't it so? You know that it is. So I want to help you, and you're thinking, yeah, but in my marriage, but I got married. Sure. So let's go through this. Number 1, be realistic about your own flaws and about your own trustworthiness. Only to give yourself a little more understanding of what your husband is going through. Try and hear what I said about why people are not trustworthy. And by and large, they're not. I mean, even in your own family, I'm sure there's people you don't trust, right? Sisters, brothers, even your mother or father. It's just that way. Now, if you go, no, in my family, everyone is perfect, I'm going to go, yeah, right. Sorry. It's just so rare. Does it happen? Not very often. Not very often. So be realistic. Don't put an expectation on your husband that is above the pay grade, you might say, because those of us on planet Earth, we're not that great. We're not saints. If we were all wonderful, when a saint appeared in the world, we wouldn't even notice. But they stand out. They're the normal ones, you know? They're totally trustworthy. They're totally good. They're totally loving, honest, and living in joy. Those are the normal people. The rest of us are not. We're striving to be. Your husband, and usually we're not striving to be. We just sort of go day to day. And we live our lives and die. Now, I don't believe in that. I believe that each one of us is endowed with certain beautiful components, you might say, attributes that are unused. Free will. What do you use your free will for? Do you use it to choose between this color and that color, between this dress and that dress? Or do you use it to self-scrutinize and change yourself? Very, very few people do. Well, it's time to see yourself so you don't judge your husband. I'll be very clear about that, because that's what's so common. When I was a divorce mediator, I saw that all the time. The husband would be going on and on about his wife's faults. I wouldn't allow it to go long because we were there just to divvy up their assets and see who's watching the kids. And he's got those same flaws. Same flaws. And so you have them too. Number 2, be realistic about the impact of his untrustworthiness. At the Marriage Foundation, you know, you could go to our website, ask a counselor, and we get lots and lots of people looking for advice because they appreciate how we do marriage, and you should subscribe to this channel so you could learn. And people will ask a question, and oftentimes it's like, my husband stays out late when he goes bowling and doesn't call me. I make that up, but it's an example. And our counselors try to help the person realize this is not so impactful. Because we also get questions from people, my husband has impregnated his affair partner and I don't know how I should treat her because he still wants to stay married to me. I mean, there's a whole range of complexity when people are having trouble in their marriage. So be kind to yourself. Realize that no one is perfect in this world. You're not perfect. He's not perfect. We don't marry because we're perfect. We marry because we want happiness. We want love. And you can have those in superabundance in spite of your imperfections. You don't have to be pure to have love and happiness. It's not set up that way. Number 3. Go back to the basics of your marriage. Why did you get married? I know the answer. You'll say, because I fell in love with him. Yeah, but why marriage? You don't know the answer. I can tell you what it is. You wanted to be happy. You wanted to experience love. You found your soulmate. And you know intuitively, and intuitive is not of the mind, it's of the heart. You knew intuitively he was the one with whom you can achieve unending, ever-increasing happiness and love. Here's the problem. I say go back to the basics, but then what are the basics? Where did you get your marriage education? We don't have good marriage education in the world, except for at the Marriage Foundation. You know, I came from a different place when I started coming up with all these solutions and answers and questions. I was coming from the place of just an individual. I wasn't saturated with Western psychological thinking, which doesn't fit to marriage, because Western psychological thinking is all about the mind. We're not minds. I'm not afraid to say it out loud. You're a soul. I'm a soul. We are souls created in God's image. This is not a theology class. I'm not coming at you with a religion. It's just the fact. You're a soul. You have a body. You have a mind. But you are God's special creation. And He loves you. Maybe me more. I'm His favorite. He loves you. He wants you to live in happiness, in joy. He wants you to feel His presence. That's home. He wants you to come home to happiness, to joy. And He gave us marriage in order to do that. You see, marriage is a spiritual path that two soulmates go to individually get together and go on their spiritual path together. That's what it's all about. That's what marriage is. It's your individual spiritual path. Where does a spiritual path lead to? Happiness, love. Where is marriage supposed to lead to? Happiness, love. Is the path supposed to be filled with strife and problems? No. But you're supposed to learn how to rise above those problems and into the love, into the joy. And that's what marriage is all about too. What a gift. But we're not taught. It's really that simple. So when people take our course for women or our course for men, we start with understanding who you are in relation to what your possessions are. You are a soul. You have a body. You're not your body. You already know that. You have a mind. You're not your mind. Just because it is scared, you are the soul. You can't be scared. You're infinite. The mind is frustrated. You're not. But when you align yourself with your mind, then you say, I'm frustrated. That's wrong thinking. It's a wrong understanding. And that understanding pervades the marriage. You're supposed to be filled with joy, love. Go back to the basics. Go to our website, see what we have. We want you to live in joy. I live in joy. I'm married. I'm so thrilled. My wife is too. Because we understand. It just has to be taught. That's all. Speaking of which, if you've been following me and you want to become a TMF marriage counselor, please go to the website and sign up, enroll. Because we want to train, we want to have marriage counselors everywhere, teaching people the right way to be married, to find happiness, and it does it fast. Our marriage counselors don't have people sitting in therapy for months and years. It's not what it takes. What we have is effective. It works. It's methodical. It's like mathematics. We deal with principles like cause and effect. We never think about that. So what we do is you criticize your husband without realizing that it's going to have a boomerang effect. We don't even look at it like that in the world. But the Marriage Foundation does. Hopefully you're already a subscriber. If not subscribed, like this video. Tell your friends about us. This is an amazing new thing for the world. I don't know why it's me doing it, but it's necessary for people to understand marriage the right way. You got to. If you want to have the benefits of marriage, you got to understand it. And that's what we're bringing to you from the Marriage Foundation. So I'm Paul Friedman. I founded it with love. And I want you to get all the benefits. God bless you. See us again. Thank you and take care.